Good evening and welcome for this event. We are excited to have you all here today to learn about ICT. This program aims to assist educator in comprehending how to teach digital skills and how to develop learners into global digital citizens. We hope that you will find it valuable and leave with new insights and perspective. The event will follow the same instruction as before. We'll put everyone on mute except for our speaker to avoid any disruptions. We will disable the chat box, so please write down all your questions, and at the end there will be a 10 minutes of questionnaire session, and then we'll enable the chat for everyone. This session is being recorded as well, which we will upload to our YouTube channel. So in case you missed any of our earlier webinars, you can watch our sessions on our YouTube channel. As we all know, there is a 5 minutes of assessment that must be completed in order for you to receive your certificates for this webinar. So please stay until the end. We are hoping you to actively participate in the session by asking questions and contributing to the conversation. We want this session to be interactive and interesting experience for everyone, since we think that everyone's idea and contribution are significant. Once again, I thank you everyone for joining and hope you enjoy the session. Now, I'd like to introduce our speaker, Ms. Shweta Gupta, a tech enthusiastic, a tech enthusiastic, an educator, a language and communication coach, a curriculum designer with 25 years with rich experience of teaching and training and developing curriculums. Ma'am, I appreciate you coming today and sharing your knowledge with us. Without further ado, I would like to turn the session over to you. Sorry for the interruption.
Thank you, Diksha. Thanks a lot for such a warm welcome. But I request you to get the chat enabled, because otherwise we won't be able to have an interactive session.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. I welcome you to the session of ICT. ICT is something which has already always have been sidelined. It has not been considered as the main subject. It has always been like it's a side subject, at least in pre-primary and maybe in the middle years as well. Now, due to NCF and NEP, it has started gaining some importance. So today we are going to talk about what is ICT and what importance does it hold in today's era. So give me a moment, kindly let me share my screen. Good evening to everyone. So I'm getting a lot of messages of good evening. Diksha, can you confirm whether the screen was visible or not? Because
yes, ma'am, it was visible.
Okay, I'll share again.
Yes, we can see your screen.
I'm trying to run it in the run mode, but it's not running. Yeah.
Yes.
So now, can you confirm it's visible?
Yes, ma'am, it's visible.
Okay, so we'll be broadly discussing how to develop digital skills in your classrooms. And digital skills are not limited to only computer teachers. It is like ICT is an integral part, whether it is English, Hindi, Maths, EVS, or any other subject. And being a part of SAR, we already believe in integration of subjects. So it's like not only ICT teachers or computer teachers, but definitely all other subject teachers should include start including digital skills in their classrooms. And I think we are doing, because we are running smart boards, we are asking them to search, we are asking them to present in PPTs. So we are already doing that. So today we'll talk about why teach computing at primary level. What is the reason? And how to teach computing. What are the necessary key focal points when you're teaching computing? So these are the three broad things that we're going to talk about today. Let me start with asking, what is computing? Kindly write in the chat box, what do you understand by computing? Awaiting your responses. Kindly write in the chat box, what is your current understanding of computing?
So we have enabled the chat for everyone. So you can write your answers in the chat box.
Digital awareness, okay. Surfing for knowledge. To introduce computer, okay. So do you know the digital era is something like of a quick action? So a quick action from your side. The use of operation computer is data storing, counting, process of, I missed it. Process of using computer technology, give the idea of computer, digital awareness, today's requirement, critical thinking, awareness about calculation and computer technology, digital skills. Okay, so we have seen you are still using so many words. Even the topic for today was digital skills, but why am I talking about computing? What is the reason for talking about computing? So the first thing before I answer what is computing, the first thing which keeps us mesmerized is our computing, computer science, programming, coding, informatics, ICT, IT, digital skills. These are so many names. Are they all same or are they different? What is exactly computing? What is exactly digital skills? If you see, you are also using so many words, digital awareness, mathematics, computing. Initially, if you check the dictionary, the word compute means calculations. So it started with calculations. And if you know, the computer works on bits and bytes, and they are being represented in 0 and 1. Again, mathematical digits. So we started with computing. Compute means adding to numbers, manipulating the numbers, basically number operations. But as we slowly and gradually moved into digital era, computing, the word computing started to refer to the usage of computer. And computer is not limited to a laptop or a desktop or a maybe palm top, like our iPads and all. It is like it is everywhere. So computer science, programming, coding, informatics, they are same or less synonymous to each other. It all depends which branch are we talking about. Are we dealing more into hardware and less into softwares? Are we dealing more into softwares, less into hardwares? Then there is data science, then there is big data, then there's analysis of data. So ICT is the mainstream, and information and communication technology, how communication is being enabled with the help of informations and computers. So these are synonymous to each other, just that it has one or the other branch of computer science, which is more specialized. But when I talk about digital skills, that doesn't mean that everybody has to be a coder. For this era, I should be able to even use the technology properly and harness the maximum potential of that technology. So what basic thing we need for all these things? A computer. Okay. So I'll get back to this question again. But if I ask, what is a computer? Again, I expect your answers in the chat box. What is your definition of computer? Smart machine, electronic machine. Okay. Okay, electronic machine, machine of data, device. Okay. Do you know how this word has been coined? How the word computer has been coined? So I'll show you something. A brief intro of computer from Wikipedia. Kindly have a look at that. So computer was used to be an occupation. This is our understanding of 20th and 21st century. But in the early 17th century, the one who computes was known as a computer. So a human was a computer in early 17th century, before electronic computers became commercially available. How many of you were aware of this? Anyone who was aware of this? Can you see the definitions are also changing over a period of time?
Yes, ma'am.
So it was human computer, and now it's a machine which is doing it. Okay, the machine which we see and the machine which is hidden also. So our primary question is, why should we teach computing at primary level? And what sort of computing? So to answer this, I want you to look at this picture and find a computer here. Can you find a computer here? Can any one of you find a computer here? Car? Shipra says no. Okay. So all of you can see a computer in car. So I can't see the computer. How? How do you see the computer? Where is the computer? In car, in shop. Can you clarify? Images? No, we don't have images of computer here. How do we see? Where is the computer? In the car. Anyone? Okay, so it's electronic, but it's not a computer. Screen which I have shared, no. I'm talking about these objects. In the camera, no. I'm talking about these objects, whether a command, a dog, a grocery store, and a car. So if I talk about this car, though the computer is not evident. So this is a clip out of Tesla. Does it rings a bell in your mind? Does a Tesla has a computer? Is it GPS enabled? Very nice. So Kamal has answered that it has a inbuilt system. Find the car system. We have automatic system. We have GPS enabled system. There's a system which is checking the mileage. There is automatic braking system, automatic gear system. Find so many computerized systems are already a part of cars. What about a grocery store? What about a grocery store? The billing system, the barcode reading system, RFID, CCTV, super, scanner, barcoding, ordering, wonderful. Maintaining records, yes, you're talking about MIS, Management Information System. You know, there used to be a Wednesday sale at many places. And maybe at Monday you go and you get a 1-for-1 pizza free, or some rebate. What was the reason? Why on Monday? Why on Wednesday? Because the footfall was more on weekends and it was very less in the weekdays. Therefore, they came up with schemes. And how did they collect this data? With the help of MIS, the order system. Okay, so these two things are very evident. What about the dog? Can I see your computer system in a dog? It's a living thing. What do you think about the dog? Yes, but how? Let me know. Yes or no? If yes, then how? Brain of dog. No, it's not a computer. Chip in the collar. Yes, Linda. Perfect. Super. So there could be a collar with a chip so that my dog is not lost. That chip could have an RFID. The chip could have a GPS enabled system. Fine. So that I can trace my dog. So you might be having, your school children with ID, which is RFID enabled. And the parents are getting messages when the child enters the school, when the child board the bus, when the child leave the school, they're getting messages. They are aware where the child is. The same can happen with the dog. What about this command? What about this command? So in Japan, these are known as washlets, and 80% of the households have washlets, which are computer enabled. So they have heating system, they have spraying systems, and many systems enabled. Fine. So all these things have been. Did you see such a commode or a pet with a collar, RFID enabled collar 20 years back? Was it there? It wasn't there. The technology has evolved and evolved at a tremendous speed. Fine. So we need to get acquainted with the technology and we need to embrace the technology. There's no way out. We have to embrace the technology. We have to understand the correct usage of technology. Yes, those who are using technology are like, no, we should be away from the technology, but you cannot stop it. It is there and it is going to come in a more broader way. So we need to prepare our children for the coming digital situations, digital era. The mode of computer is going to be everyday part of our life. How many of you have experienced that if you're chatting with someone about something and you get a Google ad of that in your mobile? So your data is being tracked. You yourself are so dependent right now on technology. So technology is there. It is going to be there. So I want you to watch a video before we move forward. Diksha, please confirm whether you can hear the sound or not.
Yes, ma'am.
The sound is audible?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so I need to share again. Let me just stop sharing.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, now it's audible.
So I want you guys to how the technology has evolved over a period of time. Now, if I consider you as people of today and I give you a button, a magical button, what would you change? Sorry, let me move on. Okay, so this is a magical button which will turn anything into a computer. What would you like to turn into computer and what it would do? You must all be sitting somewhere, maybe in your, bedroom or drawing room, or maybe in your office. So there must be a table, a chair, an almirah, a dining table, a sofa, kitchen utensils. What will you want to turn the thing into computer and what it will do? Please write in the chat box. So you have to mention the item and how it should be turned into a computer. Cooking process. Oh, all the females cooking. We don't want to do the cooking. The kitchen and the cooking. Okay, but how? What exactly in cooking? What do you want to, automate in the cooking process? So I've got an answer, like you want to turn your wardrobe into a computer so that it would automatically decide my outfit. Wonderful. The cleaning process. Fazia, please explain how. Can you all hear me? Because somebody's complaining. Diksha, can you hear me properly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, somebody's complaining that volume is not coming.
No, ma'am, it's perfect.
Okay, thank you. Oh, this not solving the purpose. Microwave is already automatic. What you want to turn into a computer? Chimney for cleaning. So the cleaning should be done automatically. A microwave, then the microwave should be doing what more for you, dear? Vaibhav is also complaining, Diksha, of voice issue. Can you please check?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so washing machines are movable chairs. Okay. Cleaning house corners. Playing games. Games like what? Games like what? A doorbell. What do you want the doorbell to do? Savita, can you please elaborate? Interior design. Okay.
Yeah.
So see how many ideas are coming. So in one of my class, I asked my students, what would you like to turn into computers? And they were full of ideas. Do you think we are serving a 21st century mindset with the way we are teaching them? We are just going, it's like one size fits all. We go, we tell them what needs to be done. We are not rubbing their minds to get open, come up with ideas. So we need to have certain ideas. We just don't want the innovation to come from Silicon Valley guys or the Bangalore people or from the IT hubs. The innovation can come from your classrooms. So I know students who have, there was a student in grade 11 though, and his mother asked him to boil the milk and asked him to stand there. So he created an automatic button so that whenever the milk boils up to a certain degree, then the switch will get automatically off. So nobody has to stand there. So as we know, necessity is the mother of invention, and we need to create thinkers. We need to create a breed of students who can think, who can innovate, who can implement things. Not everybody is going to be coder. So what all you have just mentioned, you are not coding anything. So sometimes we think software engineering or computer science is all about coding. No, it has a lot of components. There's a business analyst which is also required. There's a person who details out all the requirements. A one which is an ideator. So we need to create such children. And if you are primary educator, you know our children are full of energy and they're full of ideas. So we need to give them that opportunity to talk, to express themselves. So now can we have some answers for the need to develop digital skills? Can we have some answers from your side? I hope I'm not asking too much from you to write in the chat box. What is the need for digital skills? What is your understanding now? Why should we be teaching digital skills? Is it like the society needs it? The children needs it, or the school also needs it? Need of the hour, upgrading to match future AI generation. Yes, with Chat GPT, the wolf is not crying anymore. The wolf is at the door, dear. We need to upgrade our children. We are talking about 21st century skills. Yes, they are required a lot as of now. Our children should be creative. They should be collaborating. They should be a good communicator as well. And they should be critical thinkers. That's a need of the hour. Improving their confidence, understanding how technology works, makes the work easy and interesting. So don't confuse digital skills only with the coding. Coding is just one single domain of digital skills. Apart from that, we also have a plethora of skills that needs to be developed. Let's understand what skills are required. How do we do that? So we do it with the help of either books in the form of an ICT curriculum, or we have a dedicated coding curriculum. Today, we're going to talk about ICT curriculum, the physical hardcore books. What should they contain and how should we be teaching them? So we have per grade, we are introducing ICT from grade 1. We have grade 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's a single book that we have for each grade. Now, how should we be teaching? So there are so many books in the market. What's different? Fine. So there are 12 pedagogical principles with which NCCE, which is an international agency, and that's a coding agency which sets standards, defines there are 12 principles for the pedagogy. Let's understand how these principles are implemented in our books. So we should be leading with concepts. We should be supporting our people, our children with the acquisition of knowledge. So if I come and tell you, you have to learn Word, and the Word can be opened like this. You can create a file, you can type here, you can, change the font, but I don't have a reason to it. Why should I do it? There's no purpose defined with it. So there has to be a purpose. Why am I building something? I should be building together. You should be modeling everything. Like why, how, when, where. So our book starts, every chapter starts with a tuning in. In tuning in, I define the problem statement. So the child understands what they're doing and what is the purpose of doing that. I want you to take a minute, all of you, to read this, and then we'll move to Padlet and you'll answer certain questions. In the meantime, I'll write the link of the Padlet in the chat box. Just give me a moment. I'll copy the link and you can continue reading. So I request all of you to read this image carefully, what's happening, and then we'll move to the Padlet. We have 30 seconds to read and then we'll move to Padlets. please click on the link which is there in the chat box, and we can go to the Padlet. So here also I have this picture. If you want, we have to answer the following question. The first step is, what is the problem? Who has the problem? When the problem began? Why did the problem occur? These are certain questions. So if I'm starting learning some digital skill, there has to be a reason to it. Either I'm solving a problem, either I'm understanding a concept, I'm trying to serve the society, I should be doing something. There has to be a reason. So please understand the question. You have to write 2 lines, not more than 2 lines, which will answer the whole number of questions. So please only write 2 lines which will define all the WH questions. Just 2 lines, not individual answers. Please write 2 lines. And I hope Padlet is visible to everyone. Diksha, can you confirm Padlet is visible? Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to more participation. Here you can see online, this is online collaboration, which is happening. You have to answer. I don't want individual answers, dear. I don't want that. I want 2 statements which will answer all the questions. 1 or 2 statements. If you can define the answer to the problem in 1 statement, you do it in 1 or maximum 2. 2 statements, that's all. Can I expect more answers from the teachers? Miss Kaur, can you please answer on the Padlet? The link is already there. If you want, I can copy the link once more. Yeah, thank you, Diksha, for the same. Please go to this link, write 2 statements quickly. So I just have very limited responses and there are 216 participants. Okay. Wonderful. I've got a beautiful response. Very nice. So Arun wants to visit to Mumbai, but don't know how to convince his parents. He's eager to visit. He wants to explore the city, but he has to convince his parents. And now what he should do, what advice has he got to convince the parent? To create a brochure. So brochure is something which a child sees almost every day. So there's a summer camp brochure, there's a dance class brochure, and there's a new event or a new school opening in the area. There's so many brochures that he sees. But what if he gets an opportunity to create a brochure in MS Word, and in the meantime learns about creating text boxes, of making the font bolder, changing the font name, changing the font size, understanding the numbered and non-numbered list. So there's a problem. Who has the problem? Arun has the problem, and the problem is to convince his parents because he wants to visit Mumbai. And how I'm extremely sorry. There was a technical glitch due to which I lost my connection. So let me share my screen again. Thank you so much for the patience. Yeah. So we understood how the problem and a reason to learn MS Word is there. Now I have to create the child has to create a brochure. So he understands what a brochure is and how to create that brochure in MS Word. So when I have a reason, I have a goal to achieve. And that's why we are learning. So the learning should be experiential. The learning should be hands-on. Thank you all of you for the responses. And this is a collaboration board. When I talk about the 4 C's of 21st century skill, one of the C is collaboration. See, I've got some of the responses, and here you can collaborate. It's a tool which can be used to collaborate. You can collaborate in the classes as well. So I'll run my PPT again. So how to identify a problem? What is the problem? Now we have identified the problem. Now I have to structure my lesson, get a hands-on activity, add a variety, add some changes, provide different levels of direction. The children might need scaffolding. The children might need modeling. They're small. If you talk about grade 1 and 2, it would be difficult. So you have to scaffold, you have to model, you have to make them understand. Grade 3 onwards, they understand, they get a hands-on on hardware, they understand how to type well, and they understand how to create. So they might be able to do it independently. So now we'll tell what is a travel brochure. We'll get them acquainted with the terms and the things which they see in their real life around them. And then we'll make them direct toward the learning of how to create a text box and what is a text box. Then we have, there's a listing of skills and tools that the child is going to learn. This is for the teacher. This is not for the children. I mean, they don't have to do anything. This is just a bullet pointers what they're going to learn. Then if a child is learning over a period of time, there are few things which he has learned in his previous class. So we have a section which is before we begin. And here they learn certain concepts which they have learned in their previous classes. This is to recapitulate the concepts which are learned earlier. We can't learn computer. So there is no theory. Like you have to, open MS Word like this, add a text box, and that's the end of the story. No, we tell what needs to be done. If you want to prepare a brochure, the brochure looks like this, and how you're going to make it in MS Word, that is being told. Then you have to challenge misconceptions. So there might be certain things which they feel will work in a specific way. But then you have to keep changing, like change the font, change the size, change the numbered list to unnumbered list, or a unnumbered list to numbered list. So we have learning grounds with all the details. These are again experiential learning grounds. More or less, we have 3 to 4 learning grounds per chapter, and a student complete one full project when the child is undergoing a chapter. Then we have a hands-on. Once he has learned the hands-on activity in the activity zone, activity could be online as well as offline. So for example, for this here, we have an offline activity because we are making them understand about the travel brochure. We ask them to cut and paste a picture of any tourist place in the city and write why you like that place. Then we have some facts given in the do you know section. And then the formative assessment in the form of quick check. At the end of the chapter, you'll find a summing up section which sums up the whole chapter. What they have learned, what are the basic vocabulary, what are the concepts, what are the terms are being mentioned in the summing up. As we move forward, now the child has developing skills, but what about the syllabus? What is the syllabus? What we are teaching? So there's a progression of syllabus, of concept, of technology that they're learning, and it is spiral. And this progression is in accordance with the two identified international standards. One is CSTA and the other is ISTE. So this is Computer Science Teachers Association and International Standards for Technical Education. So in grade 1 to grade 5, we are talking about their documentation skills. So grade 1 to grade 4, they are learning MS Word. And in grade 5, this is being transformed into an online document, which they are making with the help of HTML. MS Excel, they're learning from grade 1 to grade 5. Because computers is a hands-on subject, so we have projects after they have learned two skills. So once they have understood MS Word and MS Excel, we have a chapter which is on projects, and the projects will have the skills, the usage of skills which they have learned in MS Word and MS Excel. Then we move on to multimedia, and here the child in grade 1 learned Tux Paint. Grade 2, we have MS Paint. Grade 3 onwards, to 3 to 5, they will learn PowerPoint. Now, how to execute PowerPoint, what is the basic of PowerPoint, graduating to how to make a video with the help of PowerPoint. So you can they are so much acquainted with seeing video lessons here and there. So they can also create a video project by grade 5 using PowerPoint only. When I talk about internet, they get acquainted with websites, web pages, what are they? Again, in grade 2, a little more detail about websites and web pages, how they can download pictures, how they can utilize the things which are the information which is given on the websites, how they should navigate. All that is being taught in grade 1 and grade 2. Grade 3, we teach them how to create email. And in grade 4, we have advanced email. This progressing towards usage of Google Docs. Now, Google Docs, again, is a collaborative place wherein, you can also give, once they understand what are Google Docs, you can give collaborative projects to children, where they can share. Suppose you're an English teacher and you want them to write a poetry in pairs. So 2 students can work together and write a poetry. So most of the project chapter is having 3 to 4 projects, full-fledged projects, where they're using all the skills that they have learned. Computational thinking. We have a dedicated chapter about computational thinking from grade 1 to grade 5. And I'll pick up this towards the end. What is computational thinking and why it is required? The last chapter is dedicated to coding. See, the coding is not that important because everybody will not be coding in the future. They won't be a software engineer at the end of their studies, but they will be using technology. So coding has a weightage of 20% only. So we have Scratch. This is a block-based coding. We are introducing Scratch from grade 2 to grade 5. Again, they are creating games in Scratch, using Scratch. So this is how we are developing skills mapped to the curriculum. This is a subset of SMILE curriculum. So the themes that you see are the same that are of SMILE curriculum. So it's integrated as well. So when I'm using Let's Write, it's about people, places, and safety. When I'm talking about let's work with numbers, which is an MS Excel chapter, we are having certain projects of food we eat. Like we have the child is having his aunt who is running a restaurant, and she creates a list of all the raw materials she procured every day. So the child helps his aunt in creating a online list, a spreadsheet list. That's how the child is helping. And in the meantime, the child is also learning how to create a list with the use of spreadsheet, how to give labels, how to add values, how to differentiate between labels and values. Now we have Let's Get Into Action, which is a project based on Word and Excel. Then we have Multimedia Internet. In grade 1, especially, we have Click and Explore. This Click and Explore is a very important chapter, and it's based on digital responsibility that we have towards and we have the for grade 1 only we don't have Scratch, so we have this Click and Explore. Grade 2 onwards, we have Scratch. So that's the last chapter. Let's give commands. And we have computational thinking unplugged from grade 1 to grade 5. Rest of the structure is all same. Everywhere you'll get integration with the theme. So all the projects that they are learning are theme based. So let's start. The book starts with an introduction of a bot, which is his name is K3N20. And the child finds it little whimsical to call him K3N20. He feels the name is a little difficult, and he comprehended it as Kenzo. So now the Kenzo tells him that this is lead speak, and this is the coding way. This is known as coding and encoding. So the introduction of the book and the bot and the child is through lead speak. And the child is supposed to put his name in as the name here and converting it into lead speak. So if I may request, this is the code. If I may request some of you to convert your name and write in the chat box into lead speak. Refer to this code. So Isha is saying 15-4, 15-4. Okay. So 1 stands for I, 5 stands for S, dash stands for H, and 4 stands for A. Wonderful, Isha. Oh my God, Sarabjit has a big name. 54/289337. Wonderful. So you can also discover your own lead speak. If the number seems to be difficult, you can let some of the alphabets to be there and convert some of them so that they can be spoken correctly. So Garima has a number 645144. Can you see the foundation? And I write kind of a 4 and just a minute. And it's 4. Can you comprehend what I have written? I think the message has gone to one participant only. Just wait. Can you comprehend the name I have written? What's the name? Or I can write over here as well. So it's dash. Then I have 1. So this is one child of my class. What's the name? Can you tell? What's the name? Comprehend. Hina, thank you. Thank you, Sanika. Wonderful. So we have encoded and we have decoded as well. So this is how we are going to start our book with the foundation of coding. Beautiful. So now you're applying your brain, and the child is also going to do critical thinking. Then you might ask on the next page, there are like you have to select few of your friends and then you have to put their names into lead speak. Fine. So this is the introduction. Now there are certain highlights of the curriculum. So we create a real life connect. Most of the books and most of the places also, when you talk about where to use computers, where computers are used. So the answer would be library, bookstores, it will be shopping malls, it would be like hospitals, banks, and so on. But we have tried to knit a story. So the child's grandma is sick and is in hospital. He wants to visit her and he requested Kenzo to accompany him. So Kenzo said, okay, but we'll play a game when we are moving. So when they go out, they have to take a metro. So while they went to the metro and they see there's a ticket counter and the operator is using a computer. So ticket counters at metro station use computers to book tickets. Now the child is inquisitive and he is looking around where all the computers are used. Now he thought of getting something for his grandma. He wanted to buy something, her favorite fruits. So he went to a shopping mall and saw where all the computer is used. And when he went to the hospital, he also found a computer there. Then when in banks and everywhere, in schools and libraries. So this is how we have knitted a story. Now you can ask your learners where all you have found the computer. So one of the learner may answer, oh ma'am, we've gone to a restaurant and there was self-ordering was there and I was, I selected the food which I want to eat and paid online and the food was delivered on my table. So there I was using computers. And then somebody will also say, oh ma'am, my car tells that there's the speed limit is beyond what is being permitted. So it beeps, it starts beeping. So there's computer everywhere. They'll start recognizing where all the automated systems are used. So we need to tinker on that button wherein they start thinking rather than giving them rote learning. Then, as I already told you, we have projects and the projects are theme aligned. So here we are telling them how to research. So we are asking them to understand and choose an animal, which is their favorite animal, then do certain research on that animal and prepare a word format. Here I'm asking my children to do a pet selection survey. Can you all tell me what all subjects? Let's go through these 2 pages are for pet selection survey. And I want you to tell me what all subjects you can see here. So it's clear that, what kind of integration we have. So this child is inquisitive of having a pet, and he wants to know that what all pets can we keep. So he prepared survey slips. So he distributed these survey slips, collected the data, put the data in Excel sheet, like what are the numbers, converted these numbers, went to Excel and marked the numbers. Who all want dogs, who all want cats, who all want rabbits. In the end, he created a visual representation of data, which we called a bar chart. So I request you to give me in the chat box, which all subjects do you see here and how? What all subjects you see here in this project? Maths, okay. Maths using the bar graph. You see maths and EVS. It has numbers. Okay. Bar model, EVS. What else? Okay. Anything else from maths and EVS? English. Yes. How English, if I may ask, Sarabjit? Can you please tell how English? Vocab, coloring. Okay. I request those who are answering English, how they're using English. Statistics, okay. Spellings. So when the child is going out and, asking his friends to fill the slips, he need to explain what is he doing. Will not fill like this. So he'll be communicating. So there's a language associated. He's collecting the data. So we have data collection as well. Fine. We have statistics, which we considered as part of maths. We have kind of art integration as well, because we are representing data in a visual format. Fine. And definitely my computers is there. So the projects are very meticulously designed in the way that they should be using multiple subject integration. Fine. Like here, if you see, so there's an animal statistics, and they are making, they are collating the data, they're grouping the data, they're making different columns, they're counting. So they're using different things, different subjects to complete the project. Then let me now talk about computational thinking. So I am already running out of time. So I need to be a little quick. Okay. So what, in your opinion, have you heard of this term computational thinking? What is computational thinking? What is computational thinking? Can you please tell me? Write in the chat box. Please write in the chat box. Any one of you? Power of using computer? Okay. Critical thinking about everything. Miss Rekha Maheshwari. Wonderful. Competition. Okay. Critical thinking. So I have understood what is computational, what is computing. Now, what is computational thinking? Definitely something related to computers. Do you think it is only related to computers? So basically, it is considered to be related to computers. But when I say computational thinking unplugged, unplugged means that is without computers. So let us first understand what is computational thinking. It is the process of thinking through a problem step by step in a measured and logical manner. Can you see anywhere computer in the definition? It's not there. So computational thinking is not limited to computers or automation. It is a step-by-step sequence when you're solving a problem. It is like how a computer works through its program in a logical progression. Why I have not highlighted this? Because this is specific to computers. When you start coding or you start solving a problem, like we all solved the problem in COVID, when we all, bumped into digital technology, started taking classes on Zoom. Before that, we were not even aware of Zoom. What is Zoom? We never thought of using it. But it clicked and we worked. So there was a problem and we solved it by using technology. So before making, actually what happens, the code is not like a scientist, the computer scientist is sitting on the computer and he started working, he started writing code. It's like they also sit with a pen and a paper, create a blueprint, create a prototype, how it is going to proceed, how my program is going to proceed. So there are certain steps. They break the problem, the bigger problem, into smaller chunks. They find similarities between the patterns. What is happening? Can I automate the process? And they focus only on the details which are important. And they ignore irrelevant details. And finally, they develop a step-by-step solution of the problem, implement the solution, evaluate, then take the feedback, then again get into this loop unless and until the final product is ready. So that's what programmers do. But as I said, computational thinking is not limited to only computers. It is what we are doing in our real life. Everything. The moment we get up, we start thinking, oh, today I got a little late in getting up. Now, how should I plan my day? Or today I have gotten up a little early. I should read a few pages of my book. So that's how we need to plan. We need to break the problem. And these four important pillars of computational thinking are abstraction, decomposition, pattern recognition, and algorithm. So abstraction is when we are focusing only on the important details. For example, if I'm reading a book and may not be important to me because I am focusing on the content. So that content is important, not the color of the book. So that's abstraction, when I'm focusing on the details and ignoring irrelevant things. Breaking the problem into smaller problems, that is very well known. I cannot handle a big problem. I'll try to break it down into smaller chunks and then address them. Finding similarities within and between problems, it is called pattern recognition. And then a step-by-step solution is known as algorithm. So let's do it with a real life thing where we will imply the concept of computational thinking quickly. Please write in the chat box, what is this? How would you identify this as? Lasagna, very nice. So Mrs. Nisha is able to recognize this is lasagna. But can you see computational thinking here? Is there any computational thinking in this lasagna? Oh my God, all of you are able to recognize lasagna. I know it's not that healthy, but it tastes very well. What kind of computational thinking can you see? What kind of computational thinking can you see? Is there any pattern? Is there any decomposition? Is there any algorithm? Or is there any abstraction? So layers, beautiful, wonderful. Gayatri is saying layers, but layers represent what? Which one of the pillar out of the four? Algorithm. What about the layers? What it represent? So let's see quickly. Decomposition, you start by breaking the recipe down into different steps. We gather ingredients, we cook noodles, we layer noodles with tomato sauce, meat, and mozzarella cheese. We repeat the steps 2 to 3 times. So these are the steps I'm going to do. These are my small things. So for gathering ingredients, I might have to go to market and buy, or might have to order. I should have some heating arrangement to cook lasagna noodles. Okay, so this is how I break down my problem. Then the pattern recognition, how my layer 1 is going to be. Now the layer 2 and the layer 3. So you might notice that the layers of lasagna repeat in the pattern. So there's a pattern. Then we have abstraction. Abstraction helps me to speed up the things. From where the things are being ordered doesn't make a difference. I should have the basic ingredients, whether I have ordered online or I have gone to the market and bought it. That's not important. So that's the detail we should not focus on, but we should focus on whether all the ingredients are available or not. Then we have our algorithm design. So there has to be certain sequence of steps that we have to follow. So we have computational thinking everywhere, right from brushing my teeth to getting ready for my school or my office. I'm using computational thinking every time. So we have incorporated a few computational thinking unplugged activities like making a sandwich. So we are using algorithm and they'll put down the steps or how they're making the sandwich, and there's an importance to each step. If I take a bread and I put tomatoes and cucumber, then I won't be able to spread butter easily. So the steps have to be followed in a sequence. So the child is understanding how a particular thing is done in a sequential manner and what is the importance of that step. Then we have split it up where it's a gamification version of decomposition, where with the help of these basic shapes, the child is able to make a tree or a snowman or a boat or a rocket. Then this is abstraction. They have to draw the picture of their favorite cartoon and they have to write the hints, and it's a guess me game. Then we have pattern recognition. All these are cars. They're all similar. They all are known as car. They have four wheels. They have, almost the same shape, but there's certain things which are different. And what are they? What is different and what is same? Understanding the pattern. So they do these activities from grade 1 to grade 5. There's unplugged activities which are being there. So they are building their thinking in that process. The thinking is being tuned in that process. So I don't think we have any more time for this activity. So this is one, devise the code. This is from grade 5 or 4, I suppose. And this is an algorithm. So where the child has to codify his way from school bus to the school. The moment he sits in the school bus to the school. Then we have block-based coding, the motion sensors, the controls, the events. The basic of programming is being taught with the help of Scratch. What is sprite, how to change the sprite, how to change the costume, how to make the sprite move. There are different commands that we are going to give to the coding window, and the program will run. So it's like your command, my wish. That block-based coding is being done. Now, the last topic, I suppose, not the last, the second last is, do you ask the learners to search about something and collect information? Please write in the chat box. Do you ask them to search about something? Okay. So Neeta is saying yes. Okay, so many yeses. Okay. And where do you think they go and search? Where do you think they search? Google. Okay. On Google. In library. I seriously doubt. Google, YouTube, everywhere, search engines, surroundings. Yes, if you've given the question which is related to their surroundings, yes. But if I ask them to search online about something, they usually go to Google and search because that's what they know. But can you please tell me, are they authorized to use Google? My primary children, are they authorized to use Google? All of you are answering no, but still they are using. And we're not doing anything. Why not on Google? What is the reason? Because Google is an open platform. There is no limit to what kind of content they can see. Fine. It's not appropriate for them. So we want them to be digitally responsible also. We teach them, we tell them that there are search engines, especially for children. You don't have to go to Google. These are developed by Google, and these are search engines where you have to go and search anything you want. These are kid-friendly search engines, and here they will not get any inappropriate material. So one is Kiddle.co and the other is Safe Search. So we want them to understand. You can tell them, though the chapter is in grade 1 only, but you can make them understand from grade 1 to grade 5 that these are the search engines where you have to be and you have to search. Then we also tell them, yes, everybody is playing games. Everybody is playing games online or offline on their computers. But what kind of games they should be playing? They should be reading some interesting articles as well. They should be exploring world clock also. What is the time in the other part of the globe? Fine. So these are some games. And see, when I learn something new, I want to explore. And where should I go and explore? I need direction. So my kid also need direction. What kind of game, he or she should be playing? If you have a chance to see any of the game, I'm not a gamer, so I usually don't see games, but I sometimes see the streaming videos, and the games have lot of disturbing material. So we should limit the usage of and keep a check on our children what kind of games they are seeing, because playing these games are leading to depression, to anxiety. Such problems are also happening. So this is how we want to create them digitally responsible. We also tell them, if you see something inappropriate, what you're supposed to do. You don't have to keep it to yourself. You have to go and tell. Then one of the major problems, they don't know how to communicate. So when we start teaching emailing, so they email to teacher, they email to their peers, they email to the seniors as well. So how to email to a teacher? What is the way? Like we teach them how to write a letter. We need to tell them how to email to a teacher as well. We have also aligned with UN SDG goals 2030, where in the projects, again, they have a real life connect with talking about SDG goals. So we have projects which talk about zero hunger. So if you can see in grade 1, when we are talking about pet adoption, so there are stray dogs and the child is feeding stray dogs. And then we are also helping collecting food items for zero hunger. We also have a project, I think in grade 3, we have a project on the Swachhata Abhiyan. So Indore is the cleanest city of India. It has been awarded as being a cleanest city. And why Indore? How can we keep our city clean? So it's clean sanitation, clean water and sanitation that we are focusing. Here we are focusing zero hunger. We are also focusing no poverty. So there are few SDG goals which we have taken into consideration and developed the projects around them. So that's all from my side. Let us all create a breed of digitally responsible global citizens of the world. Thank you and happy learning.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So can we start our questionnaire session?
Yeah. And you can also share the link for the quiz as well.
Okay, sure. So I request you to please write down all your question in the chat box. Ms. Akita, can you share the link? Please feel free to ask any question you may have.
Thank you so much for all your wishes and everything. I think I'm not getting any question, Diksha.
Yes.
So can I sign off for the evening?
Sure, ma'am. But before that, I want to just give me 2 minutes. So
Sure.
I wanted to take a minute just to express my gratitude for the wonderful session. Your insight and
you.
expertise and the enthusiasm were truly inspiring. And I know that everyone in the attendance came away with a wealth of knowledge. It was a delight to watch you and share your knowledge and skill with our audience, since it was clear during the session that you were passionate about the subject. So
Thank you so much.
On the behalf of the team, I would like to extend my heartfelt thank you for the contribution to such a successful webinar. Thank you so much, ma'am.